Well, hey everyone, this is Mr. Pearson, and we are looking at geographic features. And today we are going to look at the continents of Asia and Europe. So, first up, we have Asia, and Asia is a giant continent. It includes the countries of India and China, and the Philippines, as well as Japan, and even parts of Russia. But the parts we're going to look at in Asia, the geographic features, are the Huanghe River, the Gobi Desert, and the Himalaya Mountains. So first up is the Huanghe River, and this is a river that flows through much of China. You can see that it goes on this map here. You can see that it goes from this body of water, the Philippine Sea, down and covers most of the country of China. And you can see that the water is kind of a brownish yellow color, which might be important. But definitely know the Huanghe River flows through the middle of the continent of Asia and through much of the country of China. The next up we have is the next geographic feature is the Gobi Desert, and this is located in parts of China and parts of the country of Mongolia, and this is the largest desert in Asia, but even more important, this is the largest cold desert. Normally when we think of a desert, we think of it being really hot, much like the Sahara Desert. But the Gobi Desert is located very far north, and so temperatures can drop, and it's not uncommon to see snow and frost in parts of this desert. But this is the largest desert in Asia, and it's the largest cold desert in the world. And then we have the Himalaya Mountains. And the Himalaya Mountains have some of the highest peaks on Earth. You may have heard of a mountain called Mount Everest. And Mount Everest is located here in the Himalaya Mountains. Many people will travel from all over the world in order to climb Mount Everest, which is actually a very dangerous thing to do. They have to train for a very long time, and it's extremely high and can be very difficult. Sometimes they have avalanches where the snow will start to fall, and as it does, it'll cause more snow to fall, and it can be very dangerous. But you can look here on the map, and you can see that the Himalaya Mountains they run through many different countries, parts of Nepal and Pakistan. They're down just below China. Some of them are even in parts of India, the Himalaya Mountains. So the three geographic features that you need to know in Asia are the Huanghe River, the Gobi Desert, the largest cold desert in the world, and the Himalaya Mountains, which have some of the highest peaks on Earth, including Mount Everest. Now moving to another continent, the continent of Europe, we're going to talk about three geographic features. We're going to talk about the Mediterranean Sea, we're going to talk about the Italian Peninsula, and we're going to talk about the Alps Mountains. The Mediterranean Sea is what we call an intercontinental sea because it actually is between three different continents. We found the Mediterranean Sea between Africa. We talked about it briefly when we said that the Nile River flows up to it. It is between Africa and Europe, the continent we're looking at right now, as well as parts of Asia. And it is a beautiful place. Many people like to come and vacation there because the water is so clear and blue. And then we have a location called the Italian Peninsula. And what's really unique about the Italian Peninsula is that it is shaped like a boot. If you take a look here on my map, you can see that we have the heel of the boot right here. Here's the toe. And here is the boot that goes on your foot, your ankle, and your lower leg. The word peninsula is a really important word. It's a word you need to know. And a peninsula means that it is surrounded almost completely by water. It's a piece of land that's surrounded by water on three sides. If it was surrounded all the way around, it would be an island. But if you take a look at our map here, you can see that the country of Italy, which is a peninsula, it's surrounded by water on 1, 2, 3 sides. And again, the Italian peninsula, the thing to remember about it, it's located, 1, in the Mediterranean Sea, and 2, it is shaped like a boot. Again, here's the toe, here's the heel, here's the boot part, and it is a peninsula, meaning it's surrounded by water on 3 sides. And then we have the Alps Mountains. And these are the largest mountain system. This is the largest mountain system in Europe. And it runs through parts of Italy, some in Austria, Switzerland. There are parts of it in France. It's very beautiful. People like to go hiking there. They like to go skiing. All kinds of different things. People take pictures there. If you've ever seen the movie The Sound of Music, that took place in the Alps as well. So, on this trip to the continents, we looked at Asia, which we saw the Huanghe River, which is a river that flows through most of China. We talked about the Gobi Desert, which is the world's largest cold desert. There's oftentimes snow and frost, which is very unusual for a desert. And we talked about the Himalaya Mountains. And then, once we got to Europe, we talked about the Mediterranean Sea, which is an intercontinental sea. It's between Asia, Africa, and Europe. We talked about the Italian Peninsula and how the Italian Peninsula is shaped like a boot, and that a peninsula means that it's almost completely surrounded by water. It has water on 3 sides. And we talked about the Alps Mountains, which is the largest mountain system in Europe. Well, again, my name is Mr. Pearson, and thank you so much for taking this trip with me. Thank you for studying this stuff, and we'll see you next time.